Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 AppSec New Zealand Conference, which does have the distinction of being the first mostly in-person conference in the world, mostly in-person AppSec conference in the world in about a year. Before I run really quickly through a way too long slide deck with general information, it's my pleasure to turn the floor over to Professor Lech Janczewski, our host, who will introduce our official host to give us our welcome. Use the lectern mic.
Thank you, John. Ladies and gentlemen, my great pleasure. It is my great pleasure to present to you Professor Michael Mayers, who is the head of the Department of Information System and Operation Management. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to say to you that Professor Mayers is really the world-class researcher and teacher as well. Well, few information about some of his accomplishment. Well, in the research, we have a categories of different papers, and the highest class of papers is so-called A-class papers, and Professor Mayers published 30 papers in that class, and altogether there was about 6,000 reference to those particular papers. So this is a world accomplishment. Apart from this, there is a journal which is considered in information system as a top world journal, which is called the Management of Information System Quarterly. Professor Mayers, for a number of years, were editor-in-chief of that particular magazine. He was also awarded a Best Paper Award for a number of really top conferences. So, well, I'm not going to talk much about his accomplishment, but I would like to pass the microphone to him. Michael.
Well, thank you very much, Lech, and delighted to welcome you to the conference here today at the Business School. I'm glad that you can meet in person, and I mean, virtual is nice, but it's even nicer to see people face to face. Now, I'd just like to quote from our University of Auckland's new strategic plan. Usually these are a bit boring, but this one has a few interesting things that are very relevant to this conference. So this is our plan for supposedly the next 10 years. This is what it says. Opportunities abound for automated, intelligent, and distributed systems to revolutionize society and economies and transform the human condition. New digital tools and systems challenge current conceptions of national boundaries, sovereignty, personal and group identity, privacy, security, democracy, and the rule of law. In other words, digital is changing everything. It's changing the way we work, the way we play, whether we're home or at work, driving, no matter what you're doing now, digital is changing everything. Now, what's the university planning to do? Well, this is what it says. We will embrace the confluence between human practices and digital capabilities to enable the fair and ethical development, application, and distribution of innovations. I'm hoping that's the kind of thing you're going to be talking about at this conference, because there are a lot of nasty people out there, and we need to protect New Zealanders and ourselves, of course, and other people. So anyway, that seems to be one of our biggest challenges right now. It's going to get even bigger challenges in the future. And so, you know, as we seamlessly integrate digital into our lives, you know, nowadays I talk about digital first. Everything we do is digital. How are we going to keep our staff, my staff, our students, New Zealanders safe? How are we going to do that? Well, I think that's hopefully what you're going to help us with that. And so it's exactly why we need this conference. So welcome to the University of Auckland Business School. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Myers. And now it's time for me to go through all of those things that they tell me I'm legally obligated. Oh, no, it's not. First, we want to recognize a loss that this community suffered last year. For those of you who remember Chris, he was very active in the InfoSec community for a number of years. And at this point, we would like to take a moment to offer a tribute to him. And I will pass the floor to Ben.
Thank you, John. Would like to take a moment to remember Chris Evans, who passed away last year at the age of 39. Chris passed during the first New Zealand COVID lockdown. The news came as a shock to all who knew him. Unfortunately, due to gathering restrictions, it was months before a memorial could be held in his honour. There, friends, family and colleagues, both local and remote, shared their stories of Chris, of memories and antics. The funeral director said, after trauma, there is an outpour of support in the immediate aftermath. But it is also important to remember to share in the memories in the weeks, months, and years following. Chris had been in the IT industry for nearly 20 years, morphing into one of the security guys, as far as we were concerned. To many of us here in attendance and on the committee, Chris was a close friend. There are many words that could be used to describe Chris. Warm, worldly, and outrageous are just a few. We remember him through his yarns. He certainly had his fair share. And even more than that, we remember him as a generous and giving host. No matter the occasion, or even if he had to make one up, there would always be an invite into his home and a hug if you wanted one. Chris left behind his partner Lynn, who has very kindly provided these photos. As a group, we are sorry for your loss and hope through our words and our actions, we can keep Chris's memory alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. And now it's time for me to talk about all those things that I'm legally required to talk about. So first, our health and safety information. For evacuation, in the event of an emergency where an alarm is sounding in the building, please leave the building and do so in an orderly and calm fashion. Now, if you are in the upstairs auditorium, Fisher and Paykel, your assembly area is on the other side of Grafton Road. If an alarm is sounding, then the front fire exits that are hidden behind these banners will be unlocked and you'll be able to leave through those doors. So we have the two doors in front as well as the doors in the back of the room. If you are in any of the downstairs areas, then your assembly point is on Wynyard Street, which is to my left. So if you go out the glass doors outside 098 and then assemble on Wynyard Street, in either case you will find a high-vis vested university staff member there as a warden. Toilets. Those are important. There are large banks of toilets at the 098 lobby. So if you're in 115, Fisher and Paykel, you go out the back doors and down the stairs, you'll find toilets there. If you're in the lower level foyer area where the exhibitors are, then there's a set of toilets down the corridor next to case room 3. In the main foyer area, there are some toilets down the corridor behind the information desk. So we promise that we won't prevent you from using a toilet if you need it. There are also water stations. Near every bank of toilets, there's a water refill station. There are a few other ones. In an area in the downstairs foyer, it's room 088, but it's basically at the back of the foyer area where we'll have some catering, afternoon tea and such. There are some tables there. That is our quiet area. So if you would like to just get some quiet time and sit, you can go there. And there's also a water refill station there. In addition, we have some water dispensers that are provided by our catering service outside each of the main rooms. So there should be plenty of water. Stay hydrated, keep healthy. First aid. Our friend Lek is our resident first aider. So he has access to the first aid room. He is a university certified first aider, so he can help out with many things. Obviously, if it is a true emergency, dial 111 first, and then find someone in a blue shirt so that we can get Lek hooked up and get you to the first aid room. And the first aid room is also near the water fountain in the quiet area, the lower level foyer. We have info desks, one in the main lobby where you checked in this morning, and then we also have one at the bottom of the stairs in the sponsor exhibition area. That is where you can get assistance. There will be a blue shirt there at all times, hopefully, and they'll be able to help you out. We have some basic comfort items in case any are needed. Tissues, sanitary products. We have some plasters if you have a scratch or something that we don't need to call the first aider for. So all of that you can find at the information desk. Please follow our code of conduct. It is a pretty basic, not very wordy code of conduct that basically says, don't be horrible. If you encounter any issues and need to report a problem with a violation of the code of conduct, then you are welcome to seek out a blue shirt. In particular, Will Howard, who will be spending most of his days at the downstairs information desk. I forgot to mention those, yes. And had you also spoken up about code of conduct? Okay. Well, you can talk to Annika too. Annika is our volunteer coordinator. Oh, okay. So if you're downstairs, you're probably not hearing any of this. Okay. I have another slide coming up where it says, this is the first time that we're fully live streamed and it's great, and the audio is not working. So in general, if you have a question or a concern or a problem, find a blue shirt. The main reason that we get the fun, different color is so that you can find us and let us help you. Okay, things are getting really interesting. Has anyone here ever tried to use a MacBook with an HDMI cable and not had problems? Okay. So about the conference. New branding, same great conference, same great content. The brand and the event are owned by a New Zealand-based nonprofit named AppSec New Zealand Incorporated. AppSec New Zealand's entire purpose for existence is to collaborate with the OWASP New Zealand chapter in running the conference formerly known as OWASP New Zealand Day. Why is that? So we could register for GST. This is the 12th AppSec conference to happen in Auckland. So it's been 13 years, including 2009. There was 1 year that we didn't have a conference, so we're on our 12th. Last time I looked, we had 840 people registered to attend in person and another 350 who had signed up on the live stream. Now the live stream is completely free. We put it registration as pay what you want since it's not free for us to do it. And everyone who is in attendance today, and there's actually another slide, I'm getting ahead of myself, you can watch the live stream if you're not in the room. We had pre-conference training on Wednesday and Thursday. We had 7 classes going, 4 online, 3 here in the building, and we had a total of 72 attendees in those classes. There's the live stream. So we're hopefully on the air, and we'll be live streaming from both lecture theaters. So just a reminder, the rooms are live all day. Do not do or say anything in either of these theaters that you do not want broadcast live. I wish I didn't need to say that, but so you can go to myevents.nz and join the live event portal. There's a button for each of the streams, including the demos and breakouts, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. So, about our hosts, OWASP and OWASP New Zealand. OWASP has been around for 20 years now. It's the Open Web Application Security Project. It's a global community that is run by a nonprofit foundation. It's a US-based foundation. There are about 260 chapters around the world, of which OWASP New Zealand is one such chapter. The foundation and the OWASP project in total operates nearly 200 projects, producing documentation and tools and guides to help us secure software. They run global AppSec conferences most of the time. Last year's conferences were understandably canceled. And this year, like super double bold underlined, tentatively, we've been talking about hosting a live conference in Melbourne toward the end of the calendar year. But then, of course, things with the Australian states keep going wonky, so we're not really sure how that's going to play out. We do have regional and local conferences and training events, including this conference and OWASP New Zealand training days, which are usually in the August-September timeframe each year. New Zealand chapter has been around for just over 13 years. And one of our founders, Kim Carter, is still a leader. So, Kim is our chapter leader in the Christchurch area. Kirk Jackson is our leader in Wellington, and I take care of Auckland. So thank you. So we've done the OWASP New Zealand Day since 2009. Starting this year, the chapter is hosting and collaborating on the delivery of the AppSec New Zealand conference. I have to be careful not to use the word sponsor because I never got anyone at the foundation to sign off on that. 2 winters ago here, I still do that, Kirk founded the security.ac.nz conference, which is a student-focused event held on a weekend. We had our inaugural conference at Victoria University in 2019. We had some plans to do one last year. So anyway, but hopefully we'll be able to do one or more of the AC.NZ conferences this year. We have our meetups, we have a mailing list, and we participate actively on the InfoSec NZ Slack. So about our day. As far as food and drink, as I mentioned, there's water all over the place. Please stay hydrated. Some of you may remember last year we actually gave out water bottles and most of them leaked. This year we decided not to repeat that. In the reminder email 3 days ago, I said, don't forget to bring your water bottle. If you did forget to bring your water bottle, we have a small number of those bottles from last year available at the downstairs info desk. So you can see Will and his team down there. If you ask really nicely and we haven't run out, we can get you a water bottle. Oh, I was supposed to take that out, but yeah, Datacom has some cookies. Not very many cookies, so if you want one, visit them early. We'll be providing coffee and tea at the afternoon tea break. Happens to be 2:55, 5 till 3 each day. And then we also will have coffee and tea service with a small number of slices during check-in tomorrow morning. So you can come on over here at 8 o'clock, get yourself a cup of coffee, and start your day. Each day, lunch is on your own. Today, pretty much everything is open. Tomorrow, lots of stuff won't be open. So we're doing our best. I'm hoping that when we close this afternoon, I can give you some information on which things will and won't be open tomorrow. We've been researching that. James Cooper, where are you? I thought I saw you earlier. He did a really great job posting on the events channel in the InfoSec NZ Slack, talking about what he believed would be open tomorrow. The translation for that is, allow a little extra travel time because you may need to walk further away from campus to find something that's open on Saturday. Please wear your badge at all times in the venue. Among other things, that's what shows us you're entitled to take coffee, and we know that that's important. Make sure you abide by our code of conduct. Please don't make us have that conversation with you. And as I mentioned, keep in mind that we have continuous live stream from both theaters all day. All right, a little bit about where you can find things. We are in the ONG Glenn building. I love the fact that it's an official university map and Glenn is spelled wrong. So we're in the Glenn building near the bottom corner of the map. If you go up Grafton Road to Simon Street, where the Kate Edger building is, you'll find the Shaky Isles Cafe. There are a couple of container food vendors right there in the courtyard. There's also a convenience store there that has a number of grab-and-go food items. If you proceed up Simon Street, then you will find there's a St. Pierre, there's a Subway, Standing Room Espresso is up there. And of course, you can continue toward K Road and you'll continue to find more places. And then along K Road, there's a lot to find. The cafe that's in the level 1 foyer is not doing menu service. It's cabinet only. So they're not as attractive a choice as they usually are. We have 2 tracks. This is the upstairs room, Fisher and Paykel. And this is where most of the more introductory and management focused talks will happen. Then we have the second track downstairs in Lecture Theater 098. And that is where the more technical talks will happen, as well as some other management-oriented talks. In particular, tomorrow morning, there will be a track, sort of a mini track downstairs that's focusing on things like work-life balance and blamelessness and other softer issues. So we've got those grouped together. You will find in your swag bag, I'm going to borrow that for a second, Kirk. You should have this flyer. Hey, it flew. You should have that. And inside you'll find the Friday and Saturday schedules laid out. You will find outside Fisher and Paykel, near the downstairs information desk, and in the upstairs foyer, you'll find full day schedules posted. And then outside each room, you will find a schedule for the morning and afternoon. So hopefully that can keep you oriented. Oh, and it's on the website. And just a reminder, if the talk is already started when you come into a room, be courteous and stay quiet. And it's now not going to let me change slides. Which actually just reminded me, the reason it wouldn't let me change slides is that the pop-up for the captive portal had happened again. We do have Wi-Fi, and it's the same Wi-Fi user ID and password, and it's posted in lots of places. Say again? It is, it's printed on the back of your program, it's printed on posters all over the place. As usual, this is a thing that happens every year. There are some technical challenges. And one attendee reported to me that he's pretty sure what makes the captive portal not work is, you gotta love this, if you're doing DNS over HTTPS. You know, the secure thing. So the experience has been that Chrome on Windows pretty much never works unless you turn that off. Firefox on Windows usually works. Chrome and Firefox on Mac OS work, but they keep dropping and you have to keep re-upping the connection. So have fun. Okay, we do have a demo breakout room. We offered first dibs on this to our sponsors, and a couple sponsors have asked to use it. And the rest of the time, the room is available. So if you have a special interest group, if you're an affiliated organization and would like some time, come talk to us. We have some time. Today at 10, right after I stop talking, and concurrent with the first talks of the day, Ollie will be doing an overview and kickoff for Secure Code Warriors Secure Coding Tournament. So that is in case room 3. If you're downstairs by the exhibitor area, case room 3 it's labeled as case room 3 and 260-055, and it's just off the middle of the exhibitor area. So you can go in there. Quantum Security is using the room twice to do speed interviews. They have requested that if you would like to do a speed interview, first go to their booth and sign up for a time, or sign up to say you would like to go, and then they will make sure they have enough people to talk to everyone during their sessions. So the first one is at 2:25 today, and then they're back in there at 10:55 tomorrow. And now I know how much delay there is. So other sponsors, for that matter, other employers, if you would like an opportunity to network with and do quick catch-ups and brief interviews with prospective employees, then let us know and we'll see if we can get you some time. One of the big purposes of this conference is to make sure that we get those connections made. We have a lot of students, a lot of recent graduates, a lot of people trying to move into security, and we would like to hook them up with companies that would like to hire them. We are going greener. We have the water refill stations, no disposable cups. We will be happy to collect your lanyards for later reuse. If you don't want to keep yours, I've been promised by the caterer that all of the disposable items at the tea breaks will be compostable, and there will be a separate bin for those. Our swag bags are made of recycled material and are recyclable, and they're also meant to be useful as a shopping tote. One of the fun things is they do not do paper recycling on site. So any of the papers that you've been given or you collect from sponsors, take them with you and recycle them where you can. For our sponsors, if you have cartons, then those can be taken down to the cardboard bin in the loading dock area. Please make sure you flatten them. Okay, stuff we all got. Thank you very much to our sponsors for your gifts. Make sure you check out many of the sponsors that have provided a flyer talking about vacant roles they have or how to find out about careers at their company. So please be sure to check those out. You should have 4 really cool stickers. The Got OWASP and the OWASP, the white and black circle WASP from OWASP NZ, and then the AppSec NZ logo and the conference logo. So you've got all those stickers in there. You have your program, you have your lanyard, and Flux Federation had this really cool swag item, and it didn't make it from the printer in time to make it into the bags. So stop by their booth and they'll have one for you. It's basically a laptop stand. So check it out. The conference prize draw. You should have received a card in your swag bag that looks like that. I know it looks like that because I took a picture of one. And what you'll need to do is visit with our sponsors. Except for you don't have to worry about Internet NZ or Security Initiative. I should mention Security Initiative is a Japanese company, and the principal of the company is the chapter leader in Sendai. So when I asked him, hey, can you cross-promote the conference? He said, oh yeah, sure, and can I sponsor? So he signed on as a silver sponsor. He's not here. So you get those as free spaces, and then not every sponsor has a booth, so that means you have to talk to people. Find staff from the sponsor, and it says that they are a sponsor on their badges, and find the one who has the stamp and have a chat with them. Once you've gotten all the other stamps, put your name and email on it, drop it in a box at one of the info desks, and you'll be in for the draw. Now, I know that there's at least one really good prize. Thank you to Quantum for that. And I believe they're actually displaying it at their booth, so you can go check it out. These will be drawn at the closing session on Saturday, so you have to stick around, you have to be present to win. It would be a real shame to get drawn for that lovely big prize and not be here. Some sponsors are doing their own prize draws where you'll fill out a slip and give them and submit at their table. And then either they'll draw it during the afternoon tea there, or they'll come down front and do it during the closing session. And the terms and conditions for that are set by the sponsor. So if they say they'll mail it to you, then they'll mail it to you. And it's time for me to rapidly recognize all of our sponsors. So I'm going to clip through these about 2 seconds each. Please hold your applause until I get through the last one. And then let's give a big round of applause to all 15 of our sponsors. First, we have our conference host, the University of Auckland Business School, and the OWASP New Zealand chapter. See, there's the WASP. Our platinum sponsors are Datacom, or Datacom, I'm still not sure, and I work there. And Quantum Security. We have 8 gold sponsors. Attack, a Defend Group company. Aura Information Security, powered by Cordia. Insomnia Security Specialists, a Cyber CX company. MYOB. Pulse Security. Secure Code Warrior. Vocus, and ZX Security. Our silver sponsors this year are the Flux Federation, just Flux Federation, Internet NZ, Lateral Security, Security Initiative, and Secure Information Security, which I believe is a Qual IT company. And in addition to being a gold sponsor, Insomnia very kindly sponsored our tea breaks during the last 2 days for the in-person training attendees. So let's have a huge round of applause. Because without their support and their interest in seeing this happen, this would definitely not be a free conference, and it quite likely couldn't happen. So we really do appreciate them. I want to very quickly recognize some of our core committee members. So many of them are in the room, so if you'll just quickly stand up. Annika and Austin. Stay standing up. Annika, Austin, Jatinder. Thought he was at the back of the room. Okay. Kirk, who's managing our session chairs. Lek is our host and our resident first aider. Will is our sponsor liaison. Paul Howarth is our registration manager. Ramandeep Kaur was our organizer and host for our pre-conference reception last night. If you submit a talk and you're a speaker next year, you can come to the reception. And Ben is our quartermaster. He actually knows where everything is, like right where it is. Thank you for that. So a round of applause for our volunteers. I see that I'm coming up on time. It's a good thing I only have a couple more slides. A reminder to our presenters, make sure that you meet with your session chair down here in the front of the room during the break before your talk is scheduled. We can help with tech and figure out what you're going to do for miking and that sort of stuff. And what's up next? Well, we have 3 things going on right at 10 o'clock, or as soon as we do the audio change. So here we have Seba, who is actually a project leader and a chapter leader in OWASP, who will be beaming in via Zoom to do a talk on the OWASP threat modeling playbook. Downstairs, we have Carrot, who is going to be talking about DDoS. And then, of course, in the breakout room, Ali is doing the kickoff for the secure coding tournament. So, having gotten through all that in 10 minutes less than I had scheduled, it's time to get going. Have a great day.